Boom, we're back, and I'm rolling with another large opponent today because I just love being a masochist. Today, I'm rolling with 300-pounder Anthony, a blue belt, versus Tyler, the black belt. Let's see how it goes. Immediately, my first reaction is not to get eaten by Anthony. He's literally the size of two of me, so I could fit inside his stomach somehow. I'm working towards some control here. I'm on the back of his neck, and then I'm starting to frame out so I can get to this position where I can stand on top of him. I'm being a nice little hobbit, and I jump up and I grab a guillotine. However, he is peeling my hand, so I have to retreat, and instead I'm working into a standing guillotine position. The standing guillotine is a boss move, so I make sure to show Anthony that I'm going to give him that massive pressure he expects from me. I can't finish the choke because he fought my hand enough, so I'm going to snap him down instead. Now once I get this snap, he's still fighting my hands. What that means is I can go behind him because his hands are occupied fighting mine. I throw my hooks in and I take back control on him. Now what is Anthony doing here that is correct? He is fighting my hand so I can't get the choke. This is wonderful because obviously no one wants to get tapped out this early. What is he doing incorrect is he's committing a little bit too much to the hands. He should start to peel with one of his hands towards my foot to get out of this back control position. However, since he is so much larger, he has an extra advantage where he can just kind of turn into me anytime he wants, and it's going to be hard for me to resist this because it's so much weight against me. Once he turns into my guard, I have to stay ahead of him if I want to win. I stay in front of his shoulder. Now since I stay in front of his shoulder, that means I can again start to take his back. I just have to post up and get my hips out. Now there was once a Shakira song called Hips Don't Lie. Even though Anthony is grabbing my legs, my hips don't lie. They can get out of this position and I build a base to take his back. Once I have his back, I'm going under the neck and I have the far side wrist. Notice since I have the far side wrist, his near side wrist has to go to peel it. But if he uses that wrist to peel, he's going to fall over because he has no post. Now once I'm able to get off of his back and work towards this position, I can let go of the wrist, connect my hands together, and now I'm looking for a chin drop. A chin drop means I need to pull him backwards while keeping his head going forwards. It's a ton of pressure on the back of the neck. It feels awful, and I get the tap. So 300-pound opponent, pass. I already chin dropped him once, and a chin drop is a stylish submission. I'm really glad I got that on Anthony, but let's get into the round 2. Unlike many students at the gym that are white belts, I need to start hand fighting. We both start hand fighting here so we can advance and figure out how we're going to proceed with the round. Once I'm grabbing his wrist, I'm starting to work out at an angle. He reaches for my head, but he reaches too far and I get the head and arm position. I would love to be able to sweep this big behemoth over, but guess what? He's a little too large. I'm not going to be able to sweep him all the way over. Instead, I'm turning into him to take his back. But what's this? Anthony has my arm? Nani? That's okay. If he has my arm, I'm not too concerned here. He might be able to get back to my guard, but I have many tricks up my sleeve. He does indeed go to his knees, and once he goes to his knees, he's in my guard, and I did all that work for nothing. But here's the next trick. I'm pummeling my arms inside, and I have one hand reach around his neck and under his chin. Now, as soon as he touches my hand to fight the hand, I post up with my other arm. Then I can readjust and set up my guillotine. My hands are so narrow that I can get under any neck. I roll him over with this guillotine, we go to mount, and then I finish him with the mounted guillotine to get the tap.
Boom, perfect timing.
Awesome work for me. I already have 2 submissions on this big guy, so let's get into my question of the day. For my question today is, I want to ask you guys, what advice would you give to new jiu-jitsu members? What mistakes have you made in the past that you've learned from? It's always good that if you think you're getting better at jiu-jitsu, you should be able to learn from your mistakes and teach others, so let me know in the comments what you would tell somebody new to jiu-jitsu. Now my head is not in a great spot right here. How I got here, Anthony snapped me. Now he's trying to work behind me, he's grabbing my ankles. Smart. It's always good to try and control my legs when you want to take the back. However, I strip his wrist and then I get one underhook on him. Once I have this underhook, I'm going to start running into him. I have inside head control. What that means is I have my head on his chin and I'm trying to free my wrist. Now when I go to free my wrist, I just start trying to rip it down and I am able to get it free. However, then he starts posting with his free hand against my shoulders so he can free himself from the underhook, and I decide to sit down because why wouldn't I want to be under this guy? Now, if you seriously haven't learned this from any of my videos yet, you may need to go to a new channel. I always talk about hand fighting, and I start off hand fighting once I'm on my butt. Anthony quickly clears my arm, however, but this gives me the arm drag position. I grab his tricep, and I'm staying glued to him with this tricep. I want to get all the way behind him. I reach my right arm around his back. Now, once I'm able to get to this spot, I just have to keep pulling my hips out. I'm able to get one hook in on his leg, but I do decide to take it out so I can have a more wrestling approach to it. Instead, I go for a hook on the far side. then I can bring my other one in. He still has my arm controlled, so we're in a similar position where he's sitting back into me. If your back is already taken and you're also this much larger than the other guy, it's actually a pretty good option to go to your back and roll into me. This is putting a lot of pressure on my hips, and it's an easy way to start working your back escapes. I don't want Anthony to escape on his terms, so instead I let go and I go towards his front head. Now my left hand is coming under this chin. I raise his head just enough so I can go towards this guillotine. I roll him over and get another tap.
Do it again.
This proves that the guillotine is the best submission in jiu-jitsu. If a dwarf like me can do it to a Goliath like Anthony, must be the best submission. I don't think I could do something like a Kimura against him, but I can do a guillotine with these small arms. We start off a new round with a good old hand bump and hand slap and get back into it. I start with some hand fighting here. Anthony's doing the same thing. He's taking this dominant top position, but I come in immediately looking for that collar tie, and I'm trying to shove him over. Now I put on my Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. I try and go run in to push him over. Nothing works, so instead I pull him down because he has so much weight forward that it's going to be much easier to snap him. Now once I snap him and push him over, I pass this guard like it doesn't even exist. He's using some frames now that I've already passed the guard, and he's working up again. However, I'm grabbing this front head. You know I love the front head, and once he attacks my hand, I do the same thing I did before. I go behind him. I know his hands are committed to mine, so I have enough time to go around him and start taking his back. Now I clearly haven't learned anything that if I try and take his back, he's going to do the same defense every time. He's going to push into me, fall to his back, and put a ton of weight on my legs. So what do? Well, naturally I just let him do it again. I must have been feeling ballsy because for a second there I attempted a figure four. Attempting to figure four Anthony was not a smart choice. I'm clearly not going to be able to lock that around him. He's fighting my hands again here. He's peeling my wrist. I'm trying to get my hand back, but as I go to peel his hand, this is his time where he starts to turn into me. And I want to stay ahead of him. I take my hook out once he starts to turn, and since he doesn't grab my foot, I get behind him, I get to this front head position, I get my hand under his neck once again, and we're going to see another beautiful submission known as the guillotine. Anthony taps, and it's a wonderful feeling for me. Now, Anthony's actually been rolling much better than he has with me in the past. He's doing a lot more hand fighting, and he's trying to engage in different positions, as well as his pace is increased. I like to see this from Anthony, so good work to him. We engage once again once the hand bumping is over. I'm looking to come forward, but actually Anthony snaps me down, and with his size, I'm not going to be able to stop the snap, but I do get a deep waist on Anthony, and then I shove him over, and I'm getting to this half guard position. This is something new from Anthony. He's extending his legs. By extending his legs, it makes the lock tighter. It's going to be harder to pass the guard. So instead what I do here is once he's hand fighting me, I put my knee over his arm, and then I'm heading towards an overgrip. But this does bring us to the end of the video. The round finished, and I had a pretty good roll with Anthony. It's nice to go with somebody much larger than you but not get completely smashed like Brock did to me. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, thank you to all my current patrons. If you'd like to become a member, check out my page. You'll get a lot of benefits and some other cool things. Thanks for watching the video.